I've never been so sure of anything before. Just like I'm in this moment, but was alone would be enough. Just take my hands and take my ring, 'cause I will always love you through anything I'll do. To talk about different segment, for the engaging about Tope, OGINNI, let's talk about love, let's talk about God, let's talk about all you need to know before you say I do.
Thank you for tuning in to Glorious Vision Television. My name is Tope OGINNI. You are welcome to Before You Say I Do. Before You Say I Do, for those who are just joining for the first time, is a program designed for all categories of singles. As long as you have not said I do, this is a place you ought to be. This is a program where we educate the singles on all what they need to know, do before saying I do. This program is designed for all categories of singles. You may be in your courtship stage, you may have been engaged to, you may be about to wed. As long as you have not said those words I do, you have a lot to learn, you have a lot to benefit by watching this program. This is where we help you to prevent breakups, divorce, separations, even before it happens. This is where you learn a lot of things about marriage. You understand a lot of things about marriage, the concept of marriage, the biblical definition of marriage. This is where we help you to get it right in your areas. This is where we help you to get it right in your relationship. If you are the type that you have been struggling with your relationship, or you want to get married, you don't even have an understanding of what marriage is all about or how to go about it, this program tells you more about all that you need to know about relationship, marriage, love, dating, and all the rest of them. So I want to say congratulations for coming across this channel today. And to our regular viewers, I am here again. I want to say thank you for always being there with us on weekly basis. I want to appreciate you for all your prayers, your messages. They're all appreciated. Thank you so much. On this note, I want to go on this short break. When I return, the program is just starting. Please don't go anywhere, and I'll be right back. Welcome back. It is still Before You Say I Do on Glorious Vision Television. For those who are just joining for the first time, this program is specifically designed for all categories of singles to learn about relationship, dating, marriage, and all the rest of them that you need to know. And if you are considering marriage, this program helps you to know what you are supposed to know and do before you say I do. So on today's episode of Before You Say I Do, I have another interesting topic. I always come with topics, issues that will help you, that can be very, very useful and helpful to you as you are considering marriage. These are some of the things that you need to know before you get into marriage. A lot of people are in marriages today, and they are full of regrets because they were not opportune to come across program like this. Nobody talked to them. And for you that you have not said I do, coming across a program like this, I think is something that you should be grateful unto God to. At least many of the things that you need to know or that you may come across in marriage, you hear them on this program, and it will really help you to do the right thing, to know how you are supposed to prepare yourself. Maybe you are even considering marriage and you think that you've got it all, because I've had a lot of comments from people that would say, oh, I thought I'm in a wonderful relationship. I thought that my relationship is doing well. I thought that I and my partner, that we are perfect, we are good to go. Not until I come across one of your episodes and I just saw that we are not just there yet, and we have to go and sit down and talk to ourselves again. So thank God for comments like that. So I am saying that if you are a single and you come across this program, please, it may be your first time, but I'm telling you, you are going to be grateful for coming across this channel. So on today's episode, I'll be discussing understanding why singles miss God's will for marriage. Why we want to talk about why a lot of our singles miss God's will for marriage. God's will is the best that you can ever think of. Anything short of that is marital disaster. What do I mean? Leaning on your own understanding or matchmaking or coming to marry somebody by way of recommendation or all the rest of them may not really help. Not until when you get God's approval is what I'm trying to say. God approval is what you should always look out for when you are considering marriage as a young single. So today we want to talk about a lot of people that are in marriages today. Yes, even Christians that are in marriages today. Some of them will tell you that when they have issues and they reach out and you begin to ask them questions, you hear, yes, we prayed. Yes, we are Christians. Yes, we are this, we are that. Yet, they still miss it, even in that marriage. So why? So this is one of the topics again that if you are single out there, I don't want you to go anywhere. I want you to sit down. You are in a relationship already, or you're about considering one, or whatever it is that it is about your relationship. God's will is the best. Now, marriage is viewed as a sacred covenant ordained by God. Marriage is ordained by God, not by man, not by anybody. And that's why when you have issues, people will always want to tell you that you should go back to God. Go back to God, because they know that God himself is the owner of that institution of marriage. So what am I saying? It is always good for singles to seek guidance when they are seeking for a life partner. So in the course or in the journey of seeking a life partner, there are times that they may miss out of some things that they are supposed to do, and it will later backfire on them. So we want to look at some of the reasons why many people miss out God's ordained partner for them. Now, let's start from this. The first thing is lack of prayer and guidance. Many singles fail to seek God's guidance through prayer. When you are seeking a life partner, the first thing you need to do is you must pray. Maybe you admire a sister, a lady, a brother, or a man from afar, and you like him or you like her. The first thing that you need to do is to pray to God, is to talk to God, especially for men. Before you even talk to her, you've seen her from afar and you like her. The first thing you need to do is go and pray to God about that sister or that young lady before you even go far. I have seen situations whereby people fail to pray from the onset of their relationship. They just saw the lady and they spoke to her and she agreed to go in that relationship with this person, and they started this relationship. It was about a year after that they now discovered that they were not meant to be together. Look at the time wasted. Look at the time that they will have used to do something more important. Maybe they will have been married. Maybe they will have been in the next stage of their relationship. But look at it, after a year, they now discovered that when they pray, that they said that they are not meant to be together. And because of that, they cannot risk it. They said they cannot risk it. So what did they do? They go their separate ways. They ended that relationship. And this is a relationship that has been very wonderful, that everybody is looking out to, that, oh, very soon you are going to be sending us invites to your wedding. But all of a sudden, that didn't just happen because they failed to pray. So when you don't pray, the importance of your prayer is to help you to know the mind of God concerning this person that you want to know, to get God's approval that yes, you are free to go. I have given you the approval. I have given you the go ahead. And that gives you peace of mind that after all, I've heard from God. I've prayed. God has given me confirmation that I can go on with this. So even if there's anything along the line in the course of that relationship, you can always go back to God. That God, I prayed to you. You told me to go on. You told me to move on in this relationship. So what is now happening? So it's very, very important. That's number one reason that some singles might miss God's will in marriage. The next one is rushing into relationships. When you hastily enter into a relationship without discernment, Again, without prayer, when you feel that prayer is not important, I've seen what I'm looking for in this man, in this young woman, in this young man. She is pretty, she is light in complexion, he is tall. I've seen everything that I want in a man or in a woman in this particular person. And because you see yourself going together, the way you talk, it's like, some people will come out and tell you that, in fact, it's like we have known each other years before now. The way we started relating, the way we started gelling, it's like we've known each other and we have barely known each other maybe just for a month now. You hear people talk like that. That is not even enough to tell you that this person is made for you. Yes, that's the truth. So jumping into a relationship like that because you met somebody and the flow, you just catch the flow immediately, you started discussing, you started relating as if you've known each other, and you see that as a sign that you are meant to be together. There have been people like that. Today they are no more, because by the time they go deeper in that relationship, they realize that it was far, far, far from what they thought. You can miss out of God's will if you rush into relationship or into marriage, because you need to take time to pray, to allow God to speak to you. And if you fail to do that, it can lead to unsuitable partnership between you and that person. Another thing is ignoring red flags. Overlooking warning signs can make you to miss God's will for your life in marriage. Red flags. You are in a relationship with someone. The person is abusing you physically. Kick you today, eat you tomorrow, disrespect you, abuse you, excessively jealous and over possessiveness and all the rest of them. Very selfish. The person does not care, is not ready to support your goals. You are beginning to see all of this and you are not even at peace in that relationship with this person, and you still feel that there's nothing wrong. It doesn't matter. All this one, it doesn't matter. As long as this person is cool for me, I don't think I need to mind all this red flag. You will miss out of God's will. So when you see all these red flags, they are telling you that this person is not for you. God will not give you a man or woman that will not give you peace, that will not give you joy, that will not make you to be comfortable around them. God doesn't work that way. So if you are in a relationship like that lacks peace of mind, that you are not comfortable around that person, is a warning sign that this is not the will of God for you. So that's another thing. Worldly focus. When you are valuing worldly desires over spiritual growth, this can lead to missing God's will. When you value worldly desires, it is the things of the world, the worldly focus, the secular way of seeking life partner, the worldly way, the secular way of seeking life partner is what you are admiring. You are not considering the spiritual compatibility of this person because you are a Christian. All the things that they are doing in the world is what this person is doing in your relationship, and you can see it. His speech, his action, her speech, her actions says that this person is not a believer, is not somebody that loves God or loves the things of God. You should know that God cannot give you somebody that will be in the opposite direction, especially spiritually, when they are not spiritually compatible with you. Somebody that when you say it is time to pray, they tell you they are tired. When it's time to serve God, they are not interested. When it is discussion about God, they are not interested. You should definitely know that this is not the will of God for you. You are already missing out of God's will, and you should not overlook such a thing. Impatience and rushed decisions. Impatience when it comes to seeking life partner. My singles, please, I want to plead with you that you should always be patient. It is not all that glitters that are gold. There are so many pretense out there when it comes to relationship, when it comes to marriage. And you have to be very, very careful so that you don't fall into the hands of some of these pretenders, that they pretend to love you and they come with an innocent face, innocent heart, and all the rest of them, whereas they know where they are going. You need to be very careful. So don't rush immediately you meet anybody, or as a man you see a lady. Don't rush. Don't jump into conclusion. Don't quickly form your decision. That I've had people that will come out and say they meet somebody under 5 months, they already know that they are going to be husband and wife. Thank God for them, but you should know what will work for you. That may not be the way God is going to give you your own partner, your own spouse, your own wife, your own husband. That is what you should understand. So copying other people or comparing your relationship or your marital life with other person, you are making a marital disaster, and it's not going to help you in the future. So you need to be very careful when you meet somebody. Though you have to be patient, you have to take time to get to know him, get to know her, get to know some things that are very basics about this person before you begin to form your opinion or make your decision that you are going to get married to this person or you are going to propose to this person. So waiting on God's timing is very, very crucial. So please, many of you that you like to do that, you've done that in the time past, and as a result of that, it has ended you many relationships because you were not patient enough. Immediately they come to you, or immediately you see them, maybe you already form a kind of a person that you wanted. You have a description of that person in your heart. Immediately you meet them, you just forget every other thing that are also important. You just, oh, I want a light complexion lady, and you've just met one. You just want to see that as a sign that I've been praying to God that I want a light complexion. It's beyond all of that. It's beyond complexion, and it's beyond physical appearance. If you are not careful, impatience can lead you to miss God's will for your life. Disobedience to God's word, disregarding God's word can cause you to miss God's will. Obedience to him is very, very vital. When God says go, you go. When God says there's no road, you know there are some prayers that you pray, there's some revelation that God will give to you. There's some things that you will see that will tell you that definitely there's no road here. This is not my wife. This is not my husband. God will surely tell you, maybe by circumstances, maybe by vision, by dreams, through prophetical releases, and not the rest of them. God can reveal all of these things to you. I want to advise, don't ever. I know somebody once said that, oh, I've always wanted somebody that is light in complexion. But God is always leading him to dark complexion ladies. And he said that anytime he sees all this dark complexion lady, that is not always comfortable, he doesn't seem to like them, because that's not what he wants. So I told him, I said, if it is God that is leading you to that person, it's better for you to be patient with God. It's better for you to pray about it. It's better for you to get to know this person. You may discover that this person have other potentials aside from you looking at the complexion. So I told him that you should look beyond the complexion, get to know this person. So you need to look beyond that. Another thing is unhealed emotional wounds. Carrying unresolved pains from your past relationships. Somebody has hurt you in your past relationship. The person has disappointed you. He or she has betrayed you. And because of that, you are not ready to give love a chance, because you are now beginning to look at everybody like that person that treated you badly. Everybody is now looking like a bad person in your sight. It is not right. It is not right, because when God is now bringing the right person, because you already have that unresolved trauma in you that keep telling you that all men are the same, all men are liars, all ladies are the same. So immediately you even meet the God's will for your life. When God say, okay, it is time for me to connect you, to locate you, to connect you, to network you with your own bone of your bone, your flesh of your flesh, you are not there, because you are still full of bitterness against your last relationship. You will miss God's will for your life. So you need to be very, very careful. Another reason why as singles we always miss God's way for their lives is when you set unrealistic expectations. When you are expecting too much from your relationship, when you are expecting the man or the woman to be 100% perfect, when you are expecting them to be without blemish, when you are expecting them to solve your problems, and when it gets to a point that all your problems are not being solved as a result of meeting this person, then you start feeling odd, you start feeling bad, you start feeling so awkward that why is life treating me this way? So don't set unrealistic expectations. When you set that, you will miss God. When you are saying that a man that must marry me must have a car, must have a mansion, must be working in an oil company, that is setting unrealistic expectation. Why? Maybe the person God is going to bring your way is somebody that you are going to grow together, you are going to build up together. He's not going to be a ready-made man. So if you already set an unrealistic expectation that you want a ready-made man, and the person that has been coming your way is not a ready-made, and the person is God's will, you will miss God's will because you already have a standard that you have set for yourself. I am not saying that you should belittle yourself. I am not saying that you should not have a standard, but there are some standards, there are some expectations that they are not realistic. When you expect him to always be calling you, to always be saying I love you every day, and if he does not say it, or if she does not say it, you get upset. There are some expectations that they are not realistic, and you need to be very, very careful when you are setting them. If you are not careful, you will miss God's will through this way. On this note, I want to go on this short break. When I return, the program continues. Please don't go anywhere, and I'll be right back. Welcome back. It is still before you say I do on Glorious Vision Television, the only program designed for all categories of singles to help them to know how to prepare before getting into marriage. So on today's episode of Before You Say I Do, I've been discussing why singles miss out of God's will for them in marriage. Understanding why singles miss God's will for their life in marriage is what I've been talking about. So the next one I want us to look at as one of the reasons, as one of the whys singles normally miss God's will for their life, why they normally marry the wrong person as against the will of God, as against the person that God has chosen or prepared or made for them to marry, as against the bone of their bone and their flesh of their flesh. The reason why they normally marry the wrong partner, and when they get into that marriage, they now realize that they have married the wrong partner, they have entered into the wrong marriage. That is what I've been discussing on today's episode of Before You Say I Do. So the next one is fear of commitment. Fear of commitment. Anxiety about marriage coming from past experience or societal pressures can lead to avoidance of potential relationship. This fear may result in missed opportunities for God's intended union. So when you are fearing commitment, when you are afraid of making commitment in your relationship, it can also be another point that can make you to miss God's will for your life. So you need not to be afraid of anything. Once you know what you are supposed to do and you are prepared, there's no reason for you to be afraid. Idolizing marriage, placing marriage on a pedestal can lead to unrealistic expectations and pressure to marry. When you see marriage as, if I don't marry, no other thing on this earth can make me happy. If I don't get married, no other thing. You have already idolized marriage. So when you are like that, you can miss God's will, because anybody that comes your way, you will just go for that person. You will just grab that person without asking, without praying, without asking for the guidance of God concerning the person, because all you are interested in is for you to marry. You have idolized marriage. You are the type of people that, if I don't marry, in fact, some heaven will follow, I must marry. You are that kind of a person that you don't say that, why must I not marry? You have make marriage something that, if I don't marry, something else will happen. If I don't marry, something terrible might happen to you. So if you are that kind of a person, I am telling you, you will miss God's will for your life, because you need to understand the concept of marriage, how God designed marriage. You must first of all know all of these things. You must understand relationship. You must understand dating. But if all you are concerned about is marriage, I just want to get married. I just want to get married and start having children and this, you don't consider every other thing that is connected to getting married, you will miss God's will for your life. You will miss God's will for your life. Lack of faithfulness in singleness. Now, another thing is that when you are single, when you are not faithful, when all you do is to sleep around with all different kind of men, you want to get married, yet instead of you to wait on God, to trust God, that God will link you with the right person and at the right time, at his own timing, you are not ready to do that. All you do is you sleep around with all different kinds of men. Even the ones that are supposed to be your husband, you have messed around with all of them. You will miss God's will. You will miss God, because even when the God's will comes to you, you wouldn't even know, because what you know how to do is unfaithfulness. Everything around you is about unfaithfulness. So there's possibility for you, a person like this, to miss God's will if care is not taken. There's possibility for you to miss out of God's will for your life. Because another thing that this will lead you to is that the time that you're supposed to use and prepare yourself and ready for marriage or ready for commitment, your unfaithfulness will delay all this process. It will delay all this process of you settling down, preparing yourself, studying what you are supposed to study before you say I do. We go to another one, is shape. A lot of singles are missing out of God's will for their life because they are looking for a particular shape. If they see a lady or they meet a lady who does not have that particular shape, they cannot marry that person. A lady will say, I'm looking for a man that is tall. If he's not tall, I'm short. I can't marry a man that is short now. I'm a short person. I wouldn't want to marry a fellow short person like me. That means we are going to be giving birth to short or little children or small children, like we have in the case of dwarves. We have dwarves that give birth to children who are taller than their parents. So your ways are not the ways of God. So when you begin to think like that, you will miss out of God's will. You say you are a short person, and because of that, you said if you don't see a tall man and he's only short man, it's not like they are that short. It's not like the person is even a dwarf. Let's even look at it this way. It's not like the person is a dwarf. To the extent that you say that if the person is not 6 feet, is not 7 feet, I cannot marry. You are already creating a standard for yourself, which is not God's standard for you maritally. These are the things that you must know. So what am I saying in essence is that if it is not figure 8, it's nothing. If it is not tall, she must be slim. She must be slim. And you have observed that it is only fat lady that has been coming your way. You too, you have realized it. That even when you try to approach the slim ladies, they don't even have your time. They don't give you attention. It is even these fat ones that have been coming your way that has been flocking around you. Can't you see that that is where God is leading you to? Can't you see that? So if you are now beginning to say, because all these things are very common amongst singles who are seeking life partner, they will say that they will begin to give you a description of the shape that they are looking for in a man or in a lady. Like I said, a man can say, I want a slim lady. I want a figure 8. I want the one that has all the flesh of the body out. You understand what I'm saying? A lady can say, like I said, I want a very tall man that is tall, that is light in complexion. So, these are some of the things that you have to be very careful. People are married today. They have made mistake like this. They are regretting it right now as we are speaking now. They are regretting. It was a dark lady that God led me to. But because I said I don't like that lady, I've always wanted a light complexion lady in my life. It was a short lady. I've always said that I wanted a tall lady. But it was a short lady that God kept leading me to. And today, and I disobeyed God. Like I said in the first part, I said that you should not disobey or disregard the word of God. When God says this is the person for you, when you have confirmed and you are very, very sure that it is coming from God, that it is God that is leading you to that short lady, that short man, don't mind. It is your happiness and your joy that should matter to you. It's not about leaning on your own understanding. When you lean on your own understanding or you want to do it your way, you will always get your hand burnt. I will keep reiterating it. We have people that are married that they decided to do it their own way because God gave them a lady. They feel that the lady is too dark or she's ugly. Somebody will tell, some men will say that I always wanted a lady that is very beautiful. Physical attraction is very, very important to me. I cannot marry a lady that is wawa. They will even use that statement. I don't want a wawa lady. I want a very beautiful lady. And God is leading you to a lady that is that wawa. But God knows that when you marry that lady, you can bring a beauty out of her. We know a lot of people that people used to think that they were ugly. But the moment they get into marriage and marriage just change everything about them. They start looking beautiful. All you need to do is that God should give you the right partner, the ones that God will use to transform you. People got married as a slim person and they got to that marriage today. You need to see how fat they have become. These were people that they were slim. So if you are saying that you like a slim person, once after you get married and the person start having children and the person now add more flesh, what will now happen? Will you drive that woman away? What I'm saying that your standard, God's standard should always be the most important to you. Another one is complexion can make you to miss God. So when you are looking at the complexion, I keep saying that you already have a description of the complexion of the woman or the man that you wanted. Some lady will say, I'm a light complexion lady and I don't want a light complexion lady, man. They will say, I'm a light complexion lady and I don't want a light complexion man. If not, we'll be giving back to albinos. That's their own belief. So because of that, they don't want a fellow light complexion man. They don't want to get married to a light complexion man. But my question is that the will of God, the one you are going for, the dark complexion, is that the will of God for you? Have you prayed and God said, okay, there is a place of grace. You can go and marry this dark person. I'm with you. As God led you to him, that is what you should consider. I'm not saying that we don't have our preferences. Everybody, yes, I have my own, you have your own. But I'm saying that beyond our preferences, what should be the most important is what is God saying in all of these our preferences. Is God supporting our preferences? Is God saying yes or no to that one that we want? Or is saying that no way? That is what I just want you to get as a young single. So completion, you shouldn't allow completion to allow you to miss God's will for your life. The completion that you so much desire may not be the plan or the desire of God for you. It may not be the one that will take you to your Jerusalem. You have to know which one works for you, not just by your own desire alone. Another one is that colored dentition, scattered dentition, dimple, gap tooth. I know people that will say, I would love to marry a lady with gap tooth, because when we start bearing children, our children will be beautiful. Somebody will say that I want a lady with a dimple. And you know, everybody, I've said this, everybody has their own preference. I am not saying that it is bad to have a preference, but what I'm saying is that that gap tooth, that dimple, that lady with dimple, that one that has scattered teeth, that you said, how can I marry somebody whose teeth are scattered? People will be making mockery of me that look at your wife. Just pray that you get money. Once you have money, all these things, there are so many technology that are now in place that you can use to do all of these things. Once you have money, you can take the person to go and see a dentist. They will arrange the teeth for her and she will look beautiful. If that is what you want. So what am I saying is that if it is the scattered teeth that God is leading you to, don't, because of the scattered teeth, miss God's will for your life, and you go and talk to somebody, or you go and approach somebody that whose teeth is well set, and you will go and marry a terror. You go and marry a devil that in the future will now be giving you trouble. You now be remembering that, and she was not the one that God showed to me. Oh. I know a married man that is regretting today. What happened? When he wanted to marry, he went to a pastor with two names, according to him. And the pastor picked the second lady, not the first lady. But because he said that the first lady knows how to cook very well. And he said because he likes food, he loves food, he's a lover of good food. The second lady didn't know how to cook very well. He said when he left the pastor's place, that he just told himself that pastor is talking his own, that I'm going with this first one. And that was what he did. He released the second lady. He went ahead to marry this first lady. After wedding, they entered into marriage. They started having children. Their marriage started growing. Not until later in life, when this woman started showing him her true color, he now realized that God, because when you watched Before You Say I Do, like I always tell you that Before You Say I Do is not just for those who are single alone. Even the married ones watch Before You Say I Do, and when they have issues, they reach out to me. So this person now reached out to me. So in the course of my asking question, that was when he told me that this is what actually happened. I took two names to the pastor and they chose the second one. But because of this reason, I decided to go. That was how that man missed God's will for his life, because of food. Because he loves food, he decided to leave. I told him that what you will have done then, you would have gone with God's choice for you, God's will for you, and you send out to go and learn how to cook. You send out to catering school to go and learn how to cook all these delicacies. That is what you should have done. I said today you will have been enjoying your marriage, instead of you now saying that you are just tired of this woman. I am tired. This woman is not giving me peace. When a man writes and you can feel his emotion in what he wrote, then you should know that there is big trouble. So for you to not to come later in life to avoid the story that will touch the heart, or people like this that will later be coming to be now saying that what can I do? Please, you have not said I do. Get it right now. This is the reason why you are coming across program like this that is helping you to check, to put a background check on yourself, on your relationship and your partner before saying I do. Except if you are forced, if you are coerced or you are pressured. If you are not, take all your time to do all necessary checks that you are supposed to do, all what you are supposed to know before you say I do, so that you will avoid all this asking question. Please hide my identity. Please, I want it to be anonymous. I don't want people to know me. I have families, I have friends who will know that I'm the one asking this question. I don't want asking this question. I don't want my husband to know that I am the one. I don't want our friends to avoid all these stories. So look at it. If it is that scattered teeth that God, even if she's not fine facially, but God is saying go, why don't you just look beyond that beauty? Why don't you just look beyond the ugliness and consider other things like the qualities, like the favor, like the blessing that this person is going to bring into your life? You don't know why God is leading you to her, and you don't know why you as a young lady, God is telling you that you should accept the proposal from that man, even though the man is not what you are expecting, or your expectation is below your expectation, is below your standard. Please. So many men and women do not want to stand by anybody and work on them. That's the problem many of these singles are having. And I understand, because of the stories you read about people who have stand by some particular people and they later betrayed them, disappointed them. The fear of that is what is making a lot of people to run away from saying that I don't want to fix anybody. Go and fix yourself before you marry. If you have scattered teeth, go and work on it. I don't want to spend my money. I don't want to waste my time fixing anybody. I understand the reason why you are doing that. But I'm saying that when you pray, the one that God will lead you to, or the one that God will ask to come and talk to you, will not be the one that will stress you. It will be a finished work. That for all the time that you have been waiting, God has definitely been working on this person for your sake. And when it is the right time, the person will show face. The person will find you. Both of you will know that, yes, it is you that I've been waiting for. You are my bone of my bone, and you are my flesh of my flesh. You are the one that God has been telling me that I should be patient, I should be patient, I should be patient. Yes, that will be your testimony in Jesus' name. But this can only happen if you can go by all this that I've been telling you, that these are some of the reasons, these are some of the things that singles normally look out for when they are seeking life partner, forgetting that God's will is also very, very important. God will help you. So like I said, the teeth can be fixed by dentists. Everything that you think that you know, even though some people will say you are now going artificial because the natural thing, but I say if that is what you want, I don't see it as a sin that somebody's teeth are scattered and you want. That's why we have the dentists. They are there. God made them to go through that course because of issues like this. So that should not be an issue to you. Your lady is not beautiful. Do you know what she's passing through as a single person? Do you know the load that she's carrying as a single person before she meets you? Just let her get married to you and give her a good life. Make her comfortable. You will see that the beauty that you did not see then, you will see it in this person and you will be happy. The next one is dress sense. Dress sense too. When you have a particular dress sense that your woman must be dressing this way, your man must be dressing this way, and you are coming across a brother who doesn't know how to dress. You know that I attended a seminar one time like that, and during the question and answer, one of the questions that was asked at that seminar was that we have brothers in this church, but they don't know how to dress. Mommy, please help us to talk to them. We know that they are good men, but it's just their dress sense that is not appealing to us. I want to say again, when a man or a young woman is single, they have a lot of things they are passing through at that point of their life. They have a lot of things that they have to put together. So they may not be mindful of some certain things about their life. Not until most times when women come into the life of some men, of some men. That's when these women begin to bring out the beauty in them, that begin to change their dress sense by maybe you two decided to buy them some certain clothes, some shoe, or you tell them they wear a particular cloth, you tell them to go and wear another one. This is not fitting. Your shoe is not giving. This dress is not giving. You can do that, and the person that loves you will take to your correction. We don't see it as if that you are correcting them or feel too big of themselves, or that you are body shaming them. There's difference between body shaming and trying to make sure that somebody looks good. So your dress sense, you love her, she loves you. God says yes, but your own is that he or she doesn't know how to dress. He or she doesn't know how to mix colors. It is that brother, that sister always, it is a particular brother in the church that knows how to dress, that you have your eyes on, who is not even God's will. And you have been praying to God that look at that brother, I like the way that brother, anytime that brother enters church, anytime that brother enters the choir, that brother has a good dress sense. That's who you are having your eyes on. Whereas that is not the will of God for your life. The will of God is that man who doesn't have a good dress sense. But you can help him to have a good dress sense when he talks to you and you begin to tell him, you begin to help him out. The same thing goes with the lady. We have some sisters too that they don't know how to fix color. They are color blinded. They don't know how to dress. Because they are Christians does not mean that you should not look good. You should not dress fine. You should not look beautiful. As long as you are not exposing your body, you have every right to look good with good hair. So with good skin, eat good food that will bring the color of your skin out. It is never a sin, and it can never be a sin. So there are some brothers that are out there. So what am I saying? Brother, you too, God is leading you to that sister who does not know how to dress, who does not have good dress sense, does not know how to fix color. She's always wearing green and purple, green and pink, colors that didn't go. And you are looking at yourself that how can I be going out? How can people be seeing me with this kind of sister who is color blinded, who doesn't have good dress sense? Please, if that is who God is leading you to, it's better for you to obey. When you talk to her, when both of you pray, when you start your courtship, you can begin to correct all of these things in this sister or in this brother. You can start helping them to bring out. This should not let you miss the will of God for your life. We have sisters and brothers when they were singles who didn't know how to dress. But today, if you see them, they are fashionistas in their marriage. They have now become fashionistas. You can even tell the brother or the sister to go and Google. Tell them. It's not like let them politely, you tell them that this is, and when they see it, when they begin to hear compliments from people, when they start dressing well and people start complimenting them compared to the way they used to dress, you will see that they will know that it is the truth that you have told them. They won't take it up against you that you are like saying that they don't know how to dress. It depends on your manner of approach to them in trying to fix this issue. What I'm saying is that do not allow dress sense again to let you miss God's will for your life because she doesn't know how to dress or because he doesn't know how to dress. This can make you to lose God's will for your life. Help them to repackage their dressing. Do that for them. Be their fashion designer. I know ladies who are fashion designer. Me, my husband is my fashion designer. And I'm not feeling bad about that. He understands clothing, quality, good dress sense. My husband understands this very perfectly well. And because of that, I see that I always go to him. If I want to go out, I would show him my dress. Darling, this dress, I'm going for this occasion. Please let me check them over. He will tell me, oh, this one match. Oh, wear this shoe. Use this art. He will tell me. So you too, there's nothing wrong. If God leads you to somebody like that, you can help them to repackage. You can be their fashion designer. We have people too, just like me, whose wife are their fashion designer or whose their husband are their fashion designer. There's no big deal about that. There's nothing wrong in that at all. So you can help them to do that. The next point is, if he does not have birds, I cannot. You know, there's a trend now that is going on in this society with every man that is wearing this birds. So once a man, I know a lady that reached out to me too that said, Mommy, in case you have any man that is looking for a wife, I am available. But ma, let me give you description. And one of the descriptions she gave me is that she wanted a man that has bread. She wanted a man that has bread. And I was like, why should that be why should that be part of the thing that you are looking out for in a man? She said, Mommy, you won't understand. When I see any man with beard like this, in fact, I always lose myself. So that's why, because I see it that is something that I like, I make it part of me that I want a man that has beard. So if he does not have a beard now, and the man that God is sending is a gorimapa, a man that is bald and without this beard, you will not marry him, you will not say yes to him, you will keep waiting and delaying your destiny because you are looking for a particular man, and you will say that you are praying, is that God is not answering prayer. It's not, is a lie. God has answered your prayer. You are the one who has failed to see, to recognize that this is God's will for your life. Thank you so much. This is how far I can go on today's episode of Before You Say I Do. This is going to also be in series. Because of time, I won't be able to exhaust all what I have to say. You have to join me in the next episode, understanding why singles means God's will for marriage. It's very, very important for you to watch this episode of Before You Say I Do, because I know that this is a part of singles' life that is affecting your getting married, because when God is sending somebody to you, you are missing out by making the wrong choice as contrary to what God is choosing for you. Thank you, everyone who has been part of today's episode of Before You Say I Do. Thank you, production crew, for making today's production a great success. If you have any question on today's episode or on our previous episode, don't hesitate to drop it on that WhatsApp number that is scrolling on your screen. Or is there anything that you want to ask me? Is there anything that you want to discuss with me? Or you have a story about your own relationship that you want to share with other singles that you want them to learn from? Please don't hesitate to reach out to me on that WhatsApp number that is scrolling on your screen. You can also join us on our Facebook and YouTube page at 8 p.m. on every Tuesday to watch it. In case you have friends who don't have this decoder and you want to recommend this program to them, you want them to be blessed by watching this program, or you have a friend that has been complaining about their relationship, struggling to have a healthy relationship, and you have been blessed by this program, please, I want to recommend that you please direct them to our Facebook and YouTube page, 8 p.m. on every Tuesday, to go and watch. Like it, comment, and share to as many singles that you want them to be blessed by this wonderful program. And as you do that, God will bless you too. God will bless your relationship. God will bless your life in Jesus' name. Once again, I want to say thank you to everyone who has been able to join me on today's episode of Before You Say I Do. Until I come your way again on another exciting episode of Before You Say I Do, I remain your host, Tope again. Don't forget, on Before You Say I Do, we will always help you to make the right decision before you say I do. Thank you, and bye.
I've never been so sure of anything before, just like I'm in this moment. But was alone would be enough. Just take my hands and take mine, 'cause I will always love you through anything I'll do. To talk about different segment, for the engaging and marriage. Talk about OGINNI, Let's talk about love. Let's talk about God.